morning, YouTube. Rise and shine. We are off to Pennsylvania, and hopefully we get some bigger gold today. And I wish you luck on all your adventures today. And it all goes smooth as it should and planned, right? Because, some days you wake up and you never know what, you might get a bag of cats or rattlesnakes, right? So, this video is about if anyone can remember the move people in Philadelphia. So these were people who were living in Philadelphia's abandoned buildings and blocks and neighborhoods, eating cats and dogs and chickens and stealing electricity and, basically just living like mole people. You don't remember that?
No.
So look it up on your phone. What? So I think Frank Rizzo was the one who blew them up. And Ramona Africa, whoever she was the leader. Bless you. Ramona Africa. I remember this like a...
What is it, mole people?
The Move.
Oh.
Philadelphia's Move people. And this is just like a comparison. And good morning again to everyone. So,
is it the Move Philadelphia?
Move, yeah. I think Frank Rizzo blew them up.
Oh, the bombing.
Do you remember that?
1985 Move bombing.
So 1985 Move bombing. It wasn't, hey, we know you're here and we're gonna blow you up. And I think Ramona Africa was out shopping that day.
It was the destruction of residential homes.
They were living in residential abandoned homes and buildings. And it was like a whole block or 2 blocks or something like that. It was like a project, a project. And of course they weren't paying taxes or rent or anything like that or utilities. They just moved in with their cult of people, right? And this was the lifestyle they created. And then the city let it go on for long enough with many attempts to get them to say, hey, you can't do this. And they were like, just like this, you're getting today with the migrants and immigrants, right? We're not going anywhere. What they've done in New York and other places, they're just like, yep, we're going to move into this empty house because no one in the United States or the city is going to do anything about it. And the Move people got away with it for a while, and then after they said we had enough, and this is when our country and our cities were strong. We're like, you think
they let it go for 5 years?
5 years. You think we're fucking around?
Because it says they moved it March to city in August of 1979. Protests against the imprisonment of members charged with murdering a police officer. And they didn't do the bombing until 1985. So
right.
So they let it go for that long.
They let it go on for years with civil ways to try and remove the movement, the Move people, the movement. And with so many failed attempts. And who was it? Frank Rizzo? Who was the mayor? This is when we kicked ass. And we don't know, I don't know the whole makeup of the people that were living there. I'm sure it was multicultural.
Philadelphia police drop bomb on Move headquarters, killing 11, May 13th, 1985. By the end of the botched confrontation, the police dropped a bomb, leveling a city block, killing 11 people and incinerating 61 homes.
That's how you kick ass.
Yeah, well, they're not going to do that now.
So I will tell you, these people probably weren't legal migrants or immigrants. I will tell you that. And I don't really know the whole makeup of it, but if they weren't paying rent, and they didn't own the buildings, they weren't paying utilities and paying taxes and eating cats and dogs and birds and all that stuff. It sounds familiar, right? And the city said we had enough. The people said we had enough. And they're like, yeah, we're not fucking around. And they blew them up. And then, of course, the city got sued and had to pay Ramona Africa millions of dollars. And sometimes I feel that they know in the end, the people who are breaking the law, in the end, there's going to be some type of winning lottery ticket for them, right? You go and harass Mike Tyson, and you get all your teeth knocked the fuck out of your face, and then you wind up in a courtroom, you got to pay this jerk off $1 million, right? Or whatever the case may be. Because they know that there's a winning lottery ticket at the end. So the city got sued, I forget for how many millions of dollars. And guess what? There ain't no more Move. I haven't heard shit about Move since 1985. You heard about them getting sued, and Ramona Africa was the last movement person, or blah, 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 blah. And she got a settlement check, and she probably moved back to Africa. I don't know where the fuck she went. But she took her money, and she got out of the city because they said, we're not fucking around with you. Or your people, or whatever the fuck you're doing. And that's the way it goes. No different than what Kamala and Biden are doing to your country now. And no one's standing up for you, the American people, right? New York's got it going on, and and they're planning all these people, right? And Trump's right.
Listen to this. The police bombing was strongly condemned. The MOVE survivors later filed a civil suit against the city of Philadelphia and the and the PPD, and were awarded $1.5 million in 1996 settlement. Other residents displaced by the destruction of the bombing filed a civil suit against the city in 2005, were awarded $12.83 million in damages. Why would they give the MOVE people money, though? It was a $1.5 million 1996 settlement. Why would they give the organization one?
To get rid of them.
That's a lot of money.
When you hear someone wins a big settlement and they're breaking the law and done something wrong, you never hear from them ever again. They're gone. They're in another country living their high life. Or they bury themselves in like ticks and lay low. Never. You think about all those people who got millions and millions of dollars from the government, or police brutality, or all that other shit. They fucking pack the fuck up and they go. That, my opinion is, I think that's what their goal was all the time, because they know there's a paycheck. Our government and our police department should be granted immunity for people who are just breaking the law. You're not going to get one nickel out of anyone because you're fucking up, right? You're riding a wheelie down the highway and the police chase you and you break your leg or your neck. You're on your own, dude. You were breaking the law. And if you get fucked up, it's on you. Right? Because there's no repercussion for that person if they cause an accident and your child winds up handicapped or dead for the rest of their life. That's the truth, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing for you. Oh, we're sorry. There's nothing we can do for you. But then the crumb, or the lawbreaker, is getting stroked in the emergency room, and then he comes out and cries police brutality and too much force and all this other bullshit. You were breaking the law, and that's that. It's a little harsh, but there has to be law and order. That's it. So that's when we kicked ass, and I don't know if we're ever going to see that again. We should. You have children running around with automatic weapons. Parents approving of that behavior in their own house because they have weapons, but they're a little bit smarter than their children. A little bit smarter. Children have handguns and automatic weapons, and they're running around the city of Philadelphia like it's the wild fucking West, shooting people just to shoot people, or robbing people and stealing cars. Just the Wild West. When the city starts turning back and saying, hey, we're not going to tolerate this anymore, eye for an eye, like, oh, you got a gun? So do I. You want to have a shootout? Well, we're going to have 10 officers shoot at you. And shoot to kill. That's the way it is. You want to play war games with the law and the government. I mean, that's the way that it should be. That's how I feel. My children don't run around with guns. They don't have weapons of mass destruction and things like that. Is it, the gun law should be stricter? Well, Philadelphia, it should be. No 18-year-old, in my opinion, is mature enough or sensible enough, this is my opinion, to own an automatic weapon or shotgun, or anything like that at 18 years old. That's it. And I've seen it in Philadelphia with my own eyes. Just so many young people getting guns. That's stupid because they don't know how to fight or fend for themselves. So what's their first thing they're gonna do? I'm gonna go shoot you, but I gotta get my balls up and I gotta go rob somebody, or I gotta go carjack somebody, or I gotta go shoot somebody randomly on the street to get my confidence up. So now I can go shoot more people, right? Because if you think about that, if you're consciously just gonna go murder somebody, you're really a sick fucking individual, right?
Oh, I thought this was a video.
But anyway, so the move, if anyone remembers that, the move in Philadelphia, the movement, I call it.
I don't know why I've never heard of it. Maybe because I was like 10.
If it isn't what present day bullshit Biden and Kamala have turned loose on our country, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Well, now how do they fix that, right? How do they start to fix that? They give them your fucking money so they can get cars, houses, and jobs and shit, and your job. And free food, and food stamps, and free health care, and Social Security. So now, they say, oh, well, the people are unhappy that they're here now, and they're just squatting everywhere, and trying to live off the land. Well, now, we'll just let them live off the system that you created, right? Oh, no, now they're going to move into that house that's for sale next to you, that's $300,000, and we're going to buy it for them. While you go to work every day and break your balls and pay your taxes, and you see your cat and your dog are missing and they're barbecuing that shit in their backyard.
Yeah.
Facts. Wow, what a beautiful day. Beautiful day. But yeah, if there's anyone out there that remembers it, probably Philadelphia, New Jersey.
I can't believe this is the third thing I read, and now they're saying who the mayor was. Wilson Good.
Ah, Wilson Good. He was a black man, wasn't he? Look it up. I said Frank Rizzo, but I'm sorry. I come from old mafioso Oregon diner sit-downs. Was Wilson Good black or not? I just want to know.
I have
Was Kamala black or not?
She's Indian.
That's not black. Chinese people don't identify as black. I'm Italian. I don't, Italians have dark skin.
You're Italian, it's something else.
I'm Italian Irish, but
yeah, right.
How many Italians have dark skin? Plenty. I don't say I'm black. I don't say anything. I'm Italian if someone asks me.
Because you are.
Mostly Italian. A little teeny tiny bit Irish.
Your mom's Irish.
She's Irish and Italian.
Is she really?
Dad's all Italian, mom's Irish and Italian.
Wow, I would never have guessed that with your mom. Her skin is
And my
so
dad
fair.
looks fucking Indian. But he doesn't identify as Indian. Dark Italian.
Your dad does look Indian.
He looks old Indian now. I'm not talking Indian from the Navajo reservation. I'm talking Indian from India.
Let me see. Okay, I love it.
Was Wilson Good black? I don't remember that part of it. We need to pick the pace here real quick.
Yep.
Wilson Good was a black man. And he wasn't tolerating that shit in his city. Good for you. Kick ass. Bring him back.
Well, that's because, he knew what was right and what was wrong.
I think back then, we're just going to say, when organized crime could go slap you around and get away with it, and now, you catch a RICO Act because that's how they get you now, and you're done. So if they didn't have the laws in place, organized crime would probably still be what it is, even bigger. And, now it's diversified and legalized, and, you got some small wannabe real gangsters out there, but most of them, the generation's wised up and they're not really going around smacking people around. But now you have migrant mafioso, Chinese and Haitians and all that shit, where it's okay for them to go around and cut your arm off, and do what they're doing and just walk in the stores.
That's because if they justify it, then they'll get away with it.
Well, in their country, they didn't tolerate it. Or their original country, they didn't tolerate that shit. There's the death penalty. There was no excuse. There was, a lot of countries don't tolerate that bullshit. It's the death penalty. Here, it's like, slap on the wrist if you kill somebody, you'll be out in a week or 2 months or something, because the jails are overcrowded with people who were in jail for selling marijuana 20 years ago. Some shit like that.
Sorry.
That's true, right? Why are you here, man? Oh, dude, I sold a kilo of marijuana, or I got busted with an ounce of weed. Well, isn't it legal today? Yeah. Well, did they let all those guys out if it was a Scheduled 1 narcotic versus, now it just go to your local fucking store and pick up fucking weed? But anyway, the move. They call it immigration and illegal immigrants. You just call it the move now. You don't hear too much about it yet until something changes in the next few days. But that's how I feel. And I welcome anyone who is part of our system. You come here, you get a job, you pay your taxes, you pay your rent. Not just come here and do nothing and leech off the system. I'm not for that at all. And the billions of dollars that it costs the country and us taxpayers. The country's in enough fucking trouble as it is. Financially, if you guys keep up with that shit. Don't believe the hype that what you see is everybody's out spending money in the malls and shopping online. They're no different than the government with spending money on their credit. That some of them may not ever pay for it.
I just can't.
Crazy. And then I watch it all the time where people are writing off. That could be fake news.
This is the New York Times.
That could be fake news. She's reading this New York Times stuff about Harris is winning. I don't believe that, but
No. Oh yeah.
I don't believe it whatsoever. I just can't imagine a country wanting 4 more years of this bullshit, and anyone in their right mind, when they see their tax dollars and their government money pissed away on people freeloading off the country, just doesn't make sense to me. I don't care if they say it's gonna rebuild the economy. I don't give a shit about that.
As of right now, Harris has Pennsylvania.
How's that possible?
And Nevada and Wisconsin and Michigan. Trump has North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona.
Shocked. I'm really shocked. And what's because it's all the celebrities and rappers who were at Diddy's party and endorsing her, huh? All right, let's think about something else to talk about. Thanks for staying with us and hanging out.